Hey guys, just Julian here, and yeah, I said I'll do a tutorial if I got 80 likes on that other video, and I got like 90. That was pretty cool. So yeah, here's a tutorial. It took me a while to figure out exactly what I want to like do in this tutorial, but I figured out everybody seemed to really like that error speed up and the pipes and all that sort of good stuff. So I thought I would teach you a few techniques I used in that, like the breaking of the text, how I put the holes in it. I'll tell you how to make sort of cracks and like bumps and cracks like going into the text. Maybe a few pipes or something, just like an overall kind of cool text effect you can use. So I'm in Cinema 4D R14 here. I just use R14 just because it's better and new. So I always set my width and height to 1920 by 1080, ambient occlusion on, and go to save and turn upper channel on. That's just what I do every time. So I'm just going to put in some motex now. Doesn't really matter what it says, what font. I'm just going to say, I'll just keep it as text, I guess. A good font is usually like a thick, bulky type square font. It's just simply easier and it just looks better overall too. I make the depth like a bit more, basically so it's square. So if you look at the bottom, make sure it's square, if that makes sense. And then once you have your text, and now just put on caps. So I just want to go to the little caps tab, and we want to go to fillet and fillet. Not fillet cap, just fillet now. So and turn down the radius a bit. There's nothing worse than a really big fillet. So that looks pretty good. There's lots of ways of doing this. This is just the way I do it. I don't know. It just seems to look better. And you can, with this constraint thing, you don't have to click that. I'll just keep it like that. You can also change the fillet type. There's a lot of different ones. If you do engraved, it looks better basically. If you do engraved, it usually just looks better because if you do the other types of fillets, it just makes like a little line, like a little flat plane come out of the edge. But as you can see here, it's an actual sort of cube like going around the edge, so it just looks better. So what I do now is I'll go to my frontal view, so I can just see this text here. You can either press in the middle scroll button, or just click on the little view, little window tab up here. So I'll just center that, make it nice and big so I can see it all. And then I'll go up here to that yellow squiggly line and go to the linear pen tool. So here I basically draw in all the segments that I want to keep that will actually be the text. So let's say here I just want a small cutout in the middle, so I'm going to draw a line keeping in between the fillet. That's the key, you've got to keep in between that fillet, and then it's going to draw that, and then make sure to make it sort of line up, and then I might join it another one up here, and then I'll basically just trace the outline of the text, keeping inside that rectangle the whole way around, and then so right now I just have two shapes that I've drawn, or splines. You can see them inside there. And if I was to select both of these holding shift or control, right click and connect objects and delete, which basically connects the two spines to make them one single spline. And then I will go to my extrude NURBS tab, drag the spline into the extrude NURBS so it has the down arrow, and then it will fill up that shape and make it a 3D object. And then I just want to increase the depth of that a little bit, not too much. I'll just drag it, keep it so it's level with the text, like that. Now one thing I've got to do is just copy and paste this original mode text, Control C, Control V, and with the caps, turn the fillet just to cap on both of the ends. and then you want to just turn down the depth a bit, and then make sure that's on the back. If you want to line it up perfectly, you can go to this 2D view here and turn down the depth about like a third of it in. You just want a little bit of an indent, like that, so the cracks like here actually like show up. So as you can see here, yeah, I've got my 2 cracks looking pretty good on my 2 cubes, whatever. And there's lots of different techniques and ways of doing this. So if I want to go with my E, go back to my 2D view, I'll just zoom in a bit closer for this one. You can do a really cool sort of cracked effect. So if I just want to draw out the bottom of this E here, I can zoom in and I could get this jagged sort of line going, which could look like a rock or rubble or something, sort of chipping away, and just join that back up. And I could make another one here, and I could sort of follow this crack and maybe just close it up there, and I could even keep the crack going to over this side too. And put that up, and I'll just do one more crack just here. So I'm just trying to make it. Whoops, I don't think that crack turned out very well. Yeah, that looks good enough, I guess. And then just follow again the outline of the fillet, like we did with the other ones, and boom, we're done. So exactly like the other one I did. Select all the splines. You can click on one, the bottom one, and then click on the top and hold shift, and it'll select all the ones in between, and then just right click, connect objects, and delete, and then go to extrude NURBS, and then drag the spline into it. And as you can see, we have sort of this cracked effect. And if you want to go that extra step to make it just look a little bit more detailed, you can go to caps, and you can add in a fillet cap, turn it down. Oops. Okay. So, and it just adds. I think the best thing to do is just increase these cuts a little bit. Oops. Just so it doesn't like overlay. But you can make sort of this bevel coming out of the text, and then you have these cracks with a little bevel in them, and it looks really cool. It's a really cool effect. A lot of people don't know how to do it either, and if you wanted your text, if you didn't want this on the front, like if you wanted this bevel around the edge to go further out, sort of going around the edge, you could. All you have to do is just increase the depth of the text and just drag it forward a bit. And oops, wrong one. The bevel one, and just drag it forward a bit. And then you have sort of that cap around the edge, which can look pretty cool. Obviously there's a lot of different techniques you can do with this. There's not just the cracks. If you go to your cubic, and there's a lot of different sort of pen tool techniques you can use to do a lot of different effects. So yeah, that's basically it. If I'll just quickly do a texture on it. So if you are looking for some nice textures and stuff, I don't use some for my pack. You can purchase my pack, and I have a lot of good materials and stuff, so you can just message me on Skype or on YouTube, and yeah, you can purchase that. So I'll just get this brick texture, and I might get like a nice metal texture just to sort of cap it off, I guess. So I always turn off specular. For every texture I use, it makes it white and just yuck. And then I'll put it on cubic, and I might turn down the length to 25 and the length 25 for that. I'll do the same to this. I'll just paste in 25, and the original I'll do it to that too. Whoops, I did the wrong texture. Make sure you remember to put the cubic too. This cubic sort of wraps the texture around the object, so each face is sort of facing outwards, if that makes sense. It just wraps it around well. I don't know how to explain it any further, but when you're working with any sort of texture, you got to set it to cubic. So as you can see there, I have a cool sort of indented cracked effect, and if you want to add extra sort of style or effect to it, you could get some sort of lava texture, or you could even make your own texture and have like a glowing texture. So I'll just drag in this lava texture I have here and just pop that on that back extrude, the one behind the cracks and things, and let's say you could put on a little glow. So glow, I'll just keep it the default setting, I guess, and I'll turn down the length just a bit. Let's say 50, and then when I render that out, I don't have a Lightroom on, so I just quickly put a Lightroom just so you can actually see what I'm doing. Get rid of that text. Let's rotate that one a bit. So when I have a Lightroom on with everything, you can see this texture behind the cracks. You can't. It's a bit hard to see it here, mainly because the glow isn't that strong. I could make glow like a nice sort of red. I'll be able to see it a bit better. So you can see the texture in there, and it looks really cool. It gives like a really cool effect. So that's basically it for that tutorial. It's just how to do some nice text effects and cracks. You can use this technique, or it's a bright glow. But as you can see, the glow comes through the cracks. Obviously, if you're doing this yourself, you do a better job. But that's basically it, guys. It's a pretty simple tutorial. If you liked it, if you like this tutorial and you want me to keep doing them, just give it a like and a comment, because I'd really like to know your opinions, because I haven't been making a lot of tutorials because I didn't really think my viewers wanted to watch tutorials. But if you do, just give me a like, and gets a lot of likes or a lot of positive feedback, I'll be sure to make at least a tutorial a week and get a little series going. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.